And now we have other things that we want to talk about. And we're not going to talk about them in detail. What I want y'all to do, I want y'all to just think about the first word that comes to your mind when you see these pictures of Africans in Nigeria wearing white wigs. Africans bleaching themselves. Prostitution. Violence. The narratives that are placed around us and are absorbing themselves slowly but steadily into the very culture that we're trying to bring ourselves out of. All right. So this one is not part of the quiz, but I want everybody to start typing in just the first word that comes out of your mind. This is how I'm going to use this for our research. Just spell out as many words as you can that makes you that these words, the one that comes to my mind is media.
Yeah, definitely. And I highlighted Tori's comment. She said that she thinks about a lot of people, or thinks about a people who are totally and completely lost. And so if you can just kind of give us a little more insight.
When I look at the picture and I see the young lady who was once dark skinned and now she's light skinned, or it doesn't look really great, but she has lighter skin, she has on a wig. I think about a person who doesn't view themselves as fearfully and wonderfully made as God created her. When I look at the Nigerian judges who are wearing the wigs that look like European hair, it makes me think about, why do these people feel as though they'll only have authority if they look like someone else? Like, why can't they wear their traditional clothing and still stand in their eldership and still be able to judge and to lead and be in charge? Like, why do they feel as though they have to assimilate to someone else's beliefs in order to feel powerful or to feel valued in the community? I think that's very sad.
That's deep. That's deep. Any other panelists want to chime in?
Yeah, when I see this, I really do see, not so much, I wanted to first say self-hate is what I saw, but when I see this, I'm really thinking deeper. I think that a lot of our conversation is focused around racism in terms of like white people versus Black people, but we forget that when we look at institutional, like structural racism, especially going back to colonial times and now, that racism also looks like hate within ourselves and hate for people who look like ourselves. And so that when we look at colorism and how we view ourselves and how we treat ourselves within our own community, that's also a part of white supremacy culture and how they have used that to weaken our own mentality and how we see ourselves. And so I also feel sadness when I see this, because I do see people who are lost and truly don't understand their self-worth, their self-value, for better. Because the woman was beautiful as dark skin. We don't need to wear these wigs. They shouldn't even be wearing these wigs. Yeah.
Right. And I do want to just chime in really briefly. I know, of course, a lot of these terms are mostly negative because these are negative images, but I think one thing that we should definitely kind of highlight is a lot of it is done because of some form of survival. I would say people do certain things because they feel this is the only way that they can be seen or be heard or be viewed as valuable in the world that they're living in. Not that that's an excuse necessarily, but I think a lot of the things we do, even the way we speak and the way we kind of show up in the workplace and so-called corporate America, a lot of this is because we're trying to survive in the systems that we find ourselves in. So I'll just kind of read some of the feedback that we've received. Structural racism, supremacy, colonialism, media, assimilation, lost came up many times. Slaves came up many times. self-hate, survival again, racism, whitewash, timidity, weak, wounded. So many terms, lies, genocide. So there's a lot that kind of comes up with this conversation.
I want to thank everybody. You can see here, we're literally here with people all across the United States, and hopefully when we grow this across the world. And we're here literally looking at everybody's thoughts, and people get to back up, and everybody's voice is being heard. This is a restorative system. And I want to be very clear that this is deliberate. We are working hard to see how can we literally work together. And these are the building blocks. These are the cultural artifacts that we have collected from today's session. And we're working together, and we're thinking about it. It's not like this is not magic. Right? We're doing this as people, as human beings that just want a better tomorrow. Right? It's not, I don't think it's that difficult. So if anybody doesn't have, we're going to definitely use this, to develop. We're going to do another Umoja definitely in February. Umoja-Unity. It will be the signifying thing around the African American, African motherland. But we will have African American, Afro Latin. I know I've booked that one. We will have that one. And hopefully we'll have some more pathways to understand. We have the African American, Jewish American pathways to understanding. So we do have other pathways because we need to understand that it is not just, that there's many things we can learn from different people. And maybe the African American, it doesn't have to be the white community. We can learn from different communities, African communities. Caribbean communities, Native American communities, Mexican communities, Latin communities, Hispanic communities. We need to know the difference between Hispanic and Latin. It's not the same thing, right? Just like a Jamaican, it's not the same as a Haitian, right? And we got to learn cultural diversity. It is the key to our success. And I'm so proud of, that's even what you're seeing here is a culmination of years of work from a lot of different people. And you guys coming at this end, I'm so proud of it. So just thank you.